Hey, how's it going guys? Jack and Matt here with the Toasty Bros, and today we're going to be checking out a $750 HP pre-built.
Pre-builts are the go-to method right now to get into PC gaming because everything else is really messed up, and this one for $750 is actually a really good value. But before we talk about this PC, let's hear a word from today's sponsor. Oh man, I don't know if I can do this ad read. Like, this is really bad.
I've been trying scissors, but it's so tough.
I mean,
I can't even get it.
Look at all this. What are we doing? It's awful. Quarantine, man. It's been rough.
I got a delivery for Toasty Bros! Manscaped all-in-one performance package kit! I got a delivery, let me in! Get out the way!
Man, I'm not gonna lie. I really wish the frickin' performance package kit was here.
It would come in clutch right now.
I mean, hey man, I'm just saying, with the Lawnmower 3.0 waterproof trimmer and the advanced skin safe technology with reduced cuts and nicks,
that would be absolutely amazing right now. I wish it was here.
Get out the way!
Man, the hair is one thing, but don't even get me started on the smell.
Look, man, I'm just waiting to use the Manscaped Ball Deodorant Crop Preserver. It's gonna totally fix what I have going on down here.
And dude, my hair in my nose and my ears is like a caveman, so I'm just excited to get the weed whacker to get rid of all this.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh, it's here! Let's use it! Man, that did the trick. Manscaped definitely didn't fall short, and that luxury nail kit that they included helped make my nails look really good.
And speaking of that, did you forget about the 2 free gifts that you get for a limited time? And those 2 free gifts are the Shed travel bag and a pair of Manscaped boxers.
If you're watching at home today, check the link in the description down below to claim this awesome deal and get your free 2 gifts over at manscaped.com.
Your balls.
And your body will thank you.
So our friends over at HP were nice enough to send this over, and honestly, this is probably one of the best bang for buck PCs out there right now.
So let's not waste any more time, open this thing up and see what's inside.
All right guys, so they weren't messing around. We got the computer right here when you open the box, and it does come in the typical pre-built fashion with a keyboard and mouse, I assume. Look at that, they got some nice new looking keyboards, but obviously not anything gamery because technically they don't really like advertise this one as like their Omen line. It's just the acid green HP pre-built, so you know, we know it can game. That's what's important. We know it can game.
Get it out there. But yeah, the main specs of this PC are the Ryzen 5 4600G, which we'll talk more about here in a little bit. But with the 4600G, it well performs really well, and also that graphics card, which is the big selling point, a 1660 Ti. Jackson, tell the people at home how much a 1660 Ti goes for on eBay right now.
So, I mean, honestly, if you bought this system and sold this 1660 Ti, they go for around like $500 to $600 used. So you could practically pay this computer off by selling the graphics card. It's stupid, don't do it. So just like a typical HP, which they've been using this body style for a while now, it's, you know, they're pretty basic, but they're sleek. You have a nice kind of raised front acid green logo. It looks like we have 4 USB 4 ports up front, a full-size SD card reader, USB-C, a combo jack, and the power button. Actually a lot of stuff up front, which is nice. Normally you only get 2 USBs. Now we have the full audio ports in the back as well. They did cover any of the integrated jacks for us. We have 4 more USB total. We have 2 USB 3, 2 USB 2, we have an Ethernet jack, and then we have a graphics card that has DVI, it has HDMI, and it has DisplayPort, so you can do up to 3 monitors, and then obviously the power jack. These systems, they really aren't too bad in terms of upgradability either. The case you're stuck with. You really can't do anything about the case because the I/O that's in the front is typically integrated into the actual motherboard. So there's not much you can do there, and yes, that is the case with this one. You can kind of see if you look back here, it goes all the way through. So this like really cannot go into full-size case, but we have a nice little cute single fan 1660 Ti. We have kind of a weird cooler. It almost looks like an Intel cooler, but keep in mind, this is not Intel. This is something better. Something greater. Now another 2 things that are really nice about this is, for one, the storage looks to be an M.2. Not sure if it's NVMe. Do you know that off the top of your head? It is NVMe. Matt shook his head yes, so it's NVMe. We also have two sticks of RAM. HP, you guys are amazing. Like, it's only 8 gigs, but the fact that they just spent the extra probably like $1 to be able to get dual channel is absolutely amazing because you guys have seen our videos. We absolutely shill for dual channel because it makes such a difference. So huge props to HP for actually doing this. There's a lot of pre-built companies out there that don't do it still. So HP, you're the GOAT. Now in typical pre-built fashion, we have an 80 plus gold power supply. Pre-builts are really good about that. And it's also 400 watts. So you're mostly maxed out at the moment. I mean, there's obviously some headroom. You do just have a single 6-pin, so I don't think you can really get a better graphics card than this right now that only uses the single 6-pin, unless you maybe go with like one of the new RTX cards, like the 3060. I don't even know what that one uses honestly yet. But I think that this thing's really balanced as is. You could go with 16 gigs of RAM or 32. You'd have to swap these two sticks out obviously. And then you have an extra SATA, actually like 2 extra SATA as well. So you could technically add an extra SSD, you could add a hard drive. They do include a full cage right here. So there's some expandability options in here.
So now that we've taken a quick look at this computer, what we're gonna go ahead and do is, well, I actually have to take this thing home to benchmark because no internet, sad boy feels. And we're gonna take this thing home and yeah, oh God, there's some, a little bit of hair left over from that Manscaped ad. Let us know what you think of the ad down below. But yeah, we'll be right back with some benchmarks.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, now that we have this $750 pre-built gaming PC all booted up and ready to go, let's talk about some benchmarks real quick. Now, we decided to test this PC in a couple of titles, those being Call of Duty Cold War, Fortnite, Valheim, and Rust. Now, do bear with me, I am doing benchmarking from home now because we have some internet issues at our office, but those should be resolved very soon and we can kind of update our game selection. But these games, I think, are a good example of games that people are playing right now and can show that this PC for $750 is an awesome value, especially with everything going on in the world. First up, in Call of Duty Cold War at 1080p medium settings, we averaged over 90 FPS, in the high 90s, sometimes into the 100s, which is very impressive. The fact that this PC comes with a 1660 Ti, a GPU that right now on the used market can be had for sometimes $400 to $500, is absolutely insane, considering this PC is $750. The only drawback I do think this computer has is one, the RAM. Now it does come with 8 gigs dual channel, which is way better than most other pre-builts on the market, but that 8 gigs is very limiting. Upgrading this to 16 gigs is well worth the extra money if you can. If you want to do it on HP's website, that is an option you can do when buying this PC, or you can do it yourself. So definitely consider spending a little bit of extra money, making this PC a little over $800 to get 16 gigs of RAM, because it will definitely help you have a longer life with this PC and not have to do any major upgrades. Next up is Fortnite, and on pro settings, which is epic view distance, everything else on low at 1080p, we averaged over 144 FPS a majority of the time. There were some times where it does dip below that, and that probably has to do with the RAM in this system. For some reason, if you have Fortnite up in any little bit of background task, Fortnite does seem to perform better if you have 16 gigs of RAM, but that is an easy upgrade as I mentioned, and you can see some instant performance boost by doing that. But the fact with this $750 PC in early 2021, you can get well over 144 FPS and have a good high refresh rate gaming experience, it's really an impressive feat because no one's really talking about this computer. There's a lot of pre-builts on the market from the other system manufacturers out there like Skytech and a lot of other brands that sell on Amazon, but not many people are talking about these HP pre-builts that actually have better value for money right now, where some of these other pre-built companies are resorting to switching their lower end PC builds to things like 1050s and 1050 Ti's. HP still has some systems with 1660 Ti's for a reasonable price. Next up, with a new game, Valheim. On medium settings at 1080p, we average well over 80 FPS. Valheim is a game that a lot of people are playing, and it's not very well optimized. The graphics aren't amazing, but it does seem to push systems pretty hard. And as you can tell, only getting over 80 FPS, sometimes around 60 on medium settings, it does show you need to get some higher end hardware to run this game with some good FPS numbers, but it doesn't really matter. As long as you're getting 60 FPS in this game, you're really gonna have a great gaming experience, and I highly suggest you consider if you haven't played it before. And last but certainly not least is Rust, another game that people are playing a lot recently, and I run around look like an idiot, but on medium settings, which is basically like the 3 quality bar. In Rust, there's no like medium, high, low, it's like a number slider, so I think it's on 3. We averaged over 60 FPS. Other than the RAM, there really was no bottleneck in this system. The 1660 Ti and 4600G work really well together, and the fact that the 4600G does have some onboard graphics, if let's say you don't want to use the GPU and you want to upgrade to something else in the future, you could use the onboard graphics of the 4600G and still get some decent results. These OEM only 4600Gs are really awesome. They're on par with something like a Ryzen 5 3600, and they have the 6 cores and 12 threads to prove it, and some pretty decent clock speeds. So overall, this PC for the money is incredibly underrated. I think it's a really must buy if you are looking to build a PC right now and you can't build anything because it's almost impossible to build anything at this price point. You should highly consider just picking this PC up and just get into PC gaming because that's what it's all about. So check the link in the description down below to learn more. And yeah, that's about it. Let's bring Jackson back in here to wrap this video up real quick.
So as you guys probably expected, since we've done this exact combo in a lot of our custom builds, this PC performs really well for the price right now.
And the fact that it is in stock and you can actually buy it using the link in the description down below, it is an affiliate link by the way, is really awesome. And yeah, it's not the most upgradable, but if you're looking at a PC at this price point right now, you really shouldn't hesitate. This is one of the best values that you can get on the market right now.
So once again, thanks to HP for sending this over. If you haven't already, don't forget to check out our other 2 YouTube channels and also our twitch.tv/toastybros. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
We'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.
And hey, speaking of awesome pre-builds, if you want to get one made by the Toasty Bros and our crew, check out PCBros.tech.
Great place to get some pre-built PCs, and they're working over there right now in the same building. It's great, it's awesome. Yeah, check it out, PCBros.tech.
Bye.